Welcome to Gadget First. Today we're giving you an introduction to ROMs. So basically, what is a ROM? A ROM is a custom version of Android that you can install on your Android phone, and basically it can give you a number of advantages over your standard ROM. So on this phone, this Milestone 2, I used to have the stock version that Motorola made. It was Android 2.2. But now I'm running an unofficial version of 2.3, which brings all the features of 2.3 as well as increased performance, and you basically get more control over it as well. And you can remove limitations that some carriers put on their ROMs. For example, if you've got a phone and you can't do Wi-Fi tethering, there's probably a ROM you can get for it which will allow Wi-Fi tethering, which is very nice. So we'll look into how to install ROMs. First we'll do like a general installation guide, and in a couple of days we'll do installation guides for specific phones. There are a number of different ROMs. Among the popular ones are CyanogenMod and MIUI. CyanogenMod, basically it resembles AOSP Android, which is the really stock Android, but it gives more features, more customization possibilities, more control over your phone, and allows you, basically just more control of your phone, smoother UI, and often better battery life. So CyanogenMod, it resembles Android in every single way pretty much, whereas MIUI is a complete overhaul of Android really. It resembles, obviously resembles Android. It's the same operating system at the heart of it, although the whole interface is completely changed. I kind of like it, but I can't get to run smooth on this phone, so I don't usually run it. But it is absolutely lovely to see on some phones and lovely to run on others. And there's lots of videos online, so you can probably find some there, but my phone doesn't really show it off at its best, so I won't show you MIUI. But right now, let's go on to a rough overall look at how to install a ROM. So first of all, your phone has to be rooted. This is different on different devices. On this phone, it's very simple. If you're on the stock version of the ROM, you just use Z4 root. That's what I use to root this. But obviously it depends on different phones. Some are easier, some are harder. But once you're rooted, I recommend going on to Titanium Backup. If you haven't got it, just get it in the market. It's force closed on me there. I can't do it at the moment, but basically what it does is backs up all your apps. So if anything screws up on your phone, your apps still have their data. Say you got really far on Angry Birds and you don't want to lose your data, you've still got all that if your phone screws up. Just to note, putting a custom ROM on your phone does void your warranty, but you can always flash back, so there's not too much to worry about, but just bear it in mind. And neither us or the developers can take responsibility for anything that goes wrong with your phone. So then, after you've backed up your phone, you can go onto the market I'm just going to turn on Wi-Fi so it's a bit quicker. And basically I'm going to search for ROM Manager. There it is there, it's free. There is a pro version, but the free one's good enough. Just install it. And that should download in a few seconds. There we go. And just wait for it to install. So there we go, it's installed. So you just go onto the app. Might take a couple seconds to load, there you go. Just gives you a bit of a warning saying they can't take responsibility, but I've already told you that, so that's okay. Basically what you want to do, you want to flash the Clockwork mod recovery. You just tap on that, and you'll choose your model here. On the Milestone 2 you have to use the Motorola Defy one, but that's absolutely fine. So you just tap on that. I've already got it, so I'm not going to do it, but that's what you'd have to do. It would download it, it would take a few seconds to install. And then basically what you want to do is look on all the forums, like XDA Developers is a very good one. Look for your phone, and if there's any ROMs there, they usually come in a zip format. So basically what you do is, if I just go on to ROM Manager again, sorry, ROM Manager, you reboot into recovery after you've put the ROM that you want on your SD card. So you reboot into the recovery, and then it should come up and then boot into it. And you should also make sure that your phone is like over 80% charged, because if your phone like battery dies halfway through, it's gonna seriously screw up your system, so just bear that in mind. I'll just zoom in here, hopefully it'll stay in focus. Alright, so basically what you need to do is not staying in focus. Great camera, we're saving it for a new one. Feel free to donate. So you're going to go down to install zip from SD card. The volume keys on this phone are up and down, and the camera key is to select. So I'm going to select install from SD card, and then choose zip from SD card. And I'm just going to scroll down to the zip file that I want to install. There is CyanogenMod 7 version 1 zip, so then you just select that and go down to yes. It will then install it all. It might take a couple minutes, so I'll leave it there whilst it does it. This is all you need to do, there's no more steps until I come back, so see you in a second. So when you're done guys, it will automatically go back to this screen, and basically just want to click the back button to go back onto this, and then you want to go down to wipe cache partition, and then press yes to wipe. That'll take a few seconds. Some of the steps might be a tiny bit different depending on what phone and what version of Clockwork mod you have, but you know, it's all going to be like fairly similar. So if you need any help, just put something in the comments and I'll be able to help you with that. And then go down to advanced, and then wipe Dalvik cache. Go down to yes and just wipe that. That'll take a couple of seconds. Done. And then back, and then reboot the system. Now this is where it can either go wrong or right. If you've done it all perfectly, it'll probably take a little bit longer than usual to boot, maybe like 4 or 5 minutes or so, and then you'll be straight in to your new ROM. If it doesn't go right, then it'll probably just stay on the boot screen like this for forever, just looping over and over. However, the chances of it going wrong are quite low, but you know, it can always happen. So basically, if it stays on this for like half an hour or more, then that's when you start getting worried, and then basically what you'd have to do is find your way back into Clockwork mod and then use your backup from there. So that's alright then. I'm not going to skip it this time, just so I can show you how long it does take, in case you get worried. And there you go, it's coming up with my boot animation now. So yeah, this is CyanogenMod 7 for the Milestone 2. The Milestone 2 didn't really have much of a developing community until like August, when the gingerbread ROM for it was leaked by Motorola. There's better phones if you want a community. Most HTC phones have a really good community. I do believe that the HTC Hero can actually get gingerbread on it, which is quite amazing considering it's like 3 years old now, which is really good. Of course there are some limitations. If you've got a really old phone and you're trying to install the latest version of Android on it, it might not be the quickest thing in the world, and you might be best off with an older version. But, you know, if you're a tech head like me and you crave the latest stuff, then a ROM is the way to go. Yeah, so coming up we'll probably have how to install ROMs on the Desire HD. There's some ROMs on that which literally is the same installation process as this, but there's a couple where you have to have a couple extra steps, but seriously most ROMs are exactly the same. There's only a few phones that are a bit like naggy enough to make you go the long way round. Although saying that, the Desire HD, it's a bit tricky if you've updated it onto the latest official firmware and then you're trying to downgrade it. It's a bit tricky, but it's nothing to worry about. God, it's taking longer than usual. The screen's just got a bit brighter, so I think it's doing something. Usually my phone vibrates, or yeah, there we go. It usually vibrates or gets brighter when you know it's working. Okay, so there we go. And this is CyanogenMod 7 for the Milestone 2. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll have more specific phone ROM installations and more ROM reviews as well. We've got a brilliant Android speaker to review next time, as well as the Sony Ericsson Xperia Neo and Xperia Mini Pro. So there's quite a lot to see. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back next time.